You get to work in a scene alongside with literally one of the greatest actors of a generation. Can you
Yeah.
walk me through the process of crafting that scene with him and specifically the vibes on set that day?
Yeah. First of all, Joaquin he was so cool. He was so nice. I mean, he was definitely in the zone as you have to be. But it was cool because it didn't feel like he was being you never know with like people who are, at the top of their craft
Yeah.
because you hear horror stories of people being like mean or whatever, or being standoffish, and he wasn't that at all. And quite the opposite actually. But I would see him at the beginning of the day. He would kind of walk on a set or walk past the trailers or whatever, and he would be super friendly and he would be like, "Hey, how's it going? Hi, good morning, whatever." And then something would click where he would kind of, I think, have to be in his zone or something, which makes sense. And then it was kind of like he was like on a different page from the rest of us. But there was also so many people that I think he had to kind of click into that. I know I definitely would. Um, so yeah, he was awesome, nothing but nice. Him and Todd were always just like in each other's ears. Like you could tell they had a super collaborative, cool work. They had a really cool dynamic. You could tell it was always like them kind of like like coming up with stuff and conspiring. And that was really cool to watch that. I only had like a few minor interactions with him on camera for that, but and then yeah, the last day that we were filming, I think in the LA sector, it was right before Christmas, or was it right before Thanksgiving? It was right before a holiday where we all had to break, and then I knew they were going to New York for the second half of filming. But the last day was literally the only people on set were me and Joaquin. And so the day before that, Joaquin had like invited me into his trailer, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what is happening? And so we're just like in his trailer, and he was like making a coffee, and he made me a little coffee, and I think he thought maybe I was like nervous or something. Which honestly, looking back on it, I'm like, I don't know how I wasn't just like completely beside myself, like if I was on something like that now, I feel like I would be more nervous than I was. I think it was ignorance, honestly. I think it was just like, cool, this is awesome. Like, let's go. So he invited me into his trailer and was just kind of like, I think trying to get to know me. I think trying to like feel out the situation. We just ended up talking kind of not even really about the scene. I think he originally like showed up so we could talk about the scene, and then it ended up just kind of turning into us talking for a short while. And then later that day, I had a rehearsal with Joaquin, Todd, and myself. And I feel like such an idiot because I think I got a little nervous. Because I kind of had to like do it with them where I'm like,
Hmm.
this is where I'm going to start talking about spoiler stuff. So anyone listening who wants to see it, like stop listening now. Um, because the whole thing is like I run down, I'm like, hey Arthur or whatever, and then I give him this spiel, and then eventually I like get close to him and like stab the shit out of him, right? And uh, they were talking a lot. Todd and Joaquin were talking a lot about like what it could look like, what it could feel like, what it could mean, but just like very like surface level things, like okay, yeah, this, and then maybe go over here, and then kind of like blocking more than anything. And then I remember like interjecting once and like I said something. I don't even remember what I said, but I remember trying to feel, oh God, it's so awful. I remember trying to feel like involved in it. You know what I mean? Like I just thought the situation was so cool that I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna be a part of this too. And then, but it was something like pretentious and weird, like that had nothing to do with what they were saying. Like trying to like kind of like film bro my way and like make a connection out of it or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I don't even remember what I said, but I just remember as I'm saying it being like, what are you saying? Like this makes zero sense. Like chill out. And then they were both kind of just like, yeah, okay. So and I was just like, oh no. So we kind of went over it for like maybe 30 minutes, like blocked it, and then it was like, okay, see you tomorrow. And then it was just us. It was like a closed set. Nobody knew anything. We did it like a handful of times.